Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
All right, let's warm up. Circles. Down, up, down, up, reach both ways, your own pace. Let's do legs. Toes up. And we'll squat, so straight back. Shoulders down, like your shoulder blades are going into your back pockets. Sink if you can in that position. And then sink even lower. You can put your arms on your thighs, but don't put much weight on it. Okay, elbow out, look over your shoulder. Both sides. And feet together. If you have a good surface, roll back. Come up, cross your legs. Do it again. Up, cross your legs the other way. Feet out in front. First, flex your feet, engage your quads. Just hinge at the hips, straight back if you can, so shoulders back. I can just go a little bit. You should feel the skin on the back of your legs stretching. And now point and round everything. Different hamstring stretch. Legs open. Both sides. Again. Again. And then put your chest on the floor. I don't think anybody here is doing that. You can try to keep your back straight, you're hinging, you're not slouching over. Okay, feet together. Straight back again. Hinge forward. And then round everything. Let's do our feet. Start with the ankle. Toes. Arch. And pound it. Shake. Other side. Ankle. Toes. Massage the arch. Tenderize it. and shake. And I'm gonna sit seiza, but you can sit on your toes or you can stand up. We're just leaning back, stretching your quads, maybe a little hip. Do both sides. And again, you can stay seated or you can stand for this. We're just going to do some arm circles. See if you can feel your shoulders loose, no tension. Your fingertips doing the motion. Okay, now let's breathe. In, everything down, and release. In, everything down, including your shoulders. One more. A little slower. Shake. Okay, let's start with, we can stay down here if you're down here, and we'll start doing some, we'll do Baku Kemi. We'll do the easy one first. So we'll switch feet and switch sides like this. So I'm gonna go back, come up. If you have room, go 180 degrees, go ahead at your own pace. If you don't have room, you can do 45. This. Changing feet every time. All right, I did that one first to warm us up, but let's try the thing we've been doing the last couple of weeks, which is pretty hard, for me at least. I'm gonna put myself in like a very slight V shape, try to keep my legs straight. This is already a pretty good ab workout for me. I'm gonna go back, not touch my head to the ground. Come back up, not touch my feet to the ground. Going back and forth. The straighter you are, the harder it is, I think. A few of those. Let's do one more and then hold it. So your throat freeze with your feet off the ground, your head off the ground. I feel like my body's shaking. I think this is great ab work. Now we're going to go down on one side. So we're like on one cheek. Come up on one cheek. Your hip. Just doing one side. Don't touch your feet. Don't touch your head. Come up. Stay on that one side. Hold it. I'm only going to do that a few bit. Now change to the other side, and we'll do that on that side. So half your hip just on one cheek. Could be out of shape. It could be a hard exercise. Feel like I'm sweating already here. Come up, hold it. Last time. And relax. So I think that's really good ab work. I actually feel my abs. I feel it in my legs. I feel like there's room for improvement there. So let's stand up. We'll do something a little bit easier. Loosen yourself out a little. I'm going to review some things in this class, some exercises, some techniques, maybe like a little greatest hits or something. Maybe a couple new things. But let's start with our pivoting footwork. I don't want to get too far away here. Now I'm off the screen. So this is going to be your Hanmi here. When you pivot, your front foot becomes your back foot first. So I turn and I turn. So you turn one foot, then the other foot. There's other ways to do this, but so I don't want to say any way's wrong, but I believe this is wrong when you're on your heels, because that seems almost impossible. I see some people do one heel, that's okay, but for me, I think you do one foot then the other, one foot then the other, like this. And when you speed it up, you get rid of the middle part. Just looking one direction and looking the other direction. One direction, the other direction. So do a couple of those on your own. And then at some point stop, just examine where is your belt facing. Is your center facing forward? Sometimes your center might be open because you know you're going this way and this way, so you're kind of faking it like when people do 8 ways like this, right? Instead of one direction and the other direction. So that, so do a couple more of those. Pivot. Shouldn't bounce either. Your hips should be on the same plane. Your eyes should be on the same plane, which means your knees are always a little bent. If they're straight, you're going to have to go down and back up. So keep on a plane. Same thing goes for Hamni change. So if you're in left Hamni, I want my hips on a plane, my eyes on a plane, and I'm going to step back, go here. This would be like changing from, this is the 1 o'clock direction, right? If I were going to do Shihonage, go here. So my front foot becomes my back foot, and then my back foot becomes my front foot in Hamni. So that slight one, it's pretty easy to keep your center where it's supposed to be. But if we did, last week we did, so we're on the clock, so this is 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock is here, back to 12 o'clock, hands are changing too, 2 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so you're at 90-degree angles, your center at 90 degrees, should be, back to 12, 4 o'clock. Remember, you're changing your Hamni all the time. So I'm in left Hamni, 5 o'clock, and then right Hamni. And 6 o'clock is a pivot. Right Hamni, left Hamni 12, right Hamni 6. Let's change feet. So now right is forward. If I'm going to change Hamni on these numbers of the clock, my right foot is now my front foot, but it's going to be my back foot. So I'm going to change to 11 o'clock. Step back, step forward. Let's do 11 o'clock again. I don't know if you noticed, but I was kind of upright. So when I step back, it sunk a little. I'm going to jump back up again. I'm going to do a better job, I hope, now. I'm going to sink into my stance, have my belt be right here the whole time. My eyes are in the same level. My belt's on the same level. And even when I go back to 12 o'clock, I don't go, oh, it's 12 o'clock, get back. Okay, now I'm ready to go again. I go 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock. I'm in this, ready to move at all times. So let's do 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, can't count backwards, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. All right, let's do a couple random ones. 9 o'clock, check if you think your hips stayed on the same level. Is your center facing that way? Your hands, your eyes, everything facing that way. Back to 12 o'clock. Let's do 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Change Hamni. Again, when I'm going to change Hamni, I'm not going to like, okay, I'm going to take a break and get in the Hamni. I'm going to change Hamni and keep my belt and my eyes the same level. I'm going to step my foot forward, step my foot back. You could also step back, step forward. But I like stepping forward and stepping back and keeping everything the same line. If you're watching yourself on Zoom or in the mirror, you can really tell if you went up and back down, especially on this Hamni change. So I think it's better to stay down here. Then you're ready to move. Even with your foot in the air, you're ready to move. So, okay, left Hamni, and let's do 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, sorry, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Let's do 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Ah, sorry, I did it again. I meant 1 o'clock. All right, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock. All right, maybe you can have a random number generator call those out for you and have an exercise for that. So I really like that clock exercise. I like the footwork changing hanmi. This is like the basis of your technique, is where your feet are, where your center's facing. We've been doing some weapons work in the park now that we can, and I'm really getting a sense of, I can tell when I ski and my center's off to the side, or a yoko man and I open here. It's like I lose all that power. It has to be, my center has to be here. My center has to be here for ski. So you always got to think about that. Another thing to review is Buha Sensei talked about the three hanmis. There's maybe others, but 3 variations of hanmi. So I had my tape left here, so I thought we'd review that. I don't even know if you can see that since my rug is so busy. But initially, he started this neat thing where you open your feet, or open your toes, open your heels. Now your feet should be under your shoulders. I'm not sure this is exactly has to do with hanmi. So if I step back here, this is actually what do they call it? Tuitsitai, sort of like a Iaido and Kanai Sensei used that. So anyway, that's helpful. That's not one of the ones we're talking about. So let's do right foot forward in your hanmi, and just get in your hanmi. And what I'd like you to do is bring your back foot up, straight up to your heel, and see where you are. I think most hanmi is heel to the arch. Most people are kind of comfortable in that, and I like that. Some people have a more of an open back foot or a closed back foot. I like mine a little more 45 degrees. So this is sort of your standard hanmi, which is great for just moving forward, moving back, harimi. Buha Sensei, and I never thought about this before, talked about, well, there's also a hanmi if you're heel to heel. So put your heels together and step back into your regular stance. Now you're a little bit more open this way, right? So that is that one good for? This is good for like, especially like a tenshin. So front foot tenshin, I step here because my heel's already out of the way. Step here. So if I was back in my normal hanmi with my heel at my arch, and I did a tenshin, I could still do it, but I'm almost like rub my feet together, hit my knees together. And if you want to exaggerate that even more, we can try the third hanmi, which is your back toes to your heel. So your toes are to your heel. And this one was a real eye-opener to me, because I've seen Osawa Sensei do this a bunch of times, a quick tenkan, and his foot's already back here, right? So he just stepped back. It's a quick tenkan. If I'm in my regular hanmi, I sort of have to slide or move this foot out of the way a little bit. But if I'm in this toes to my heel hanmi, I can just pivot on the ball of this foot, step back, and I'm here. And I went right into that hanmi again, actually. So try it on both sides. I'm going to change to left hanmi. And I'm going to put my toes against my heel and then step back here. So I'm a little more open, right? My shoulders are in a line. Step back. You can really do a quick tenkan from that. And it really reminds me of how Osawa Sensei moves on a lot of things. So the 3 again are sort of standard. Your heel is in your arch. That's great for the harimi motion. The second one is heels together. So your heels are on a line. This is great for tenshin, step back tenshin. I even turn that foot a little bit sometimes first. It's just like seamless. Feels to me. And then the third one is feet or toes to your heel, and it's good. It's great for this tenkan. So I would urge you to think about those three, and then when you're thinking about techniques and dissecting techniques, you know, which hami do you want to start in? And then the last thing on that, when you have a partner, that I just recalled that who Ha Sensei said too, is if you're in your sort of standard hami and you want to change to have your heel on your toes, instead of moving this front foot where your opponent can see it, still in a good position, instead move your back foot. It's a little bit more of a secret, right? As they're coming towards you, you know what you're going to do. They don't, because your front foot is here. So right when they grab you, you can move. So I found that really helpful and interesting to think about. Let's do Shomanuchi strike onto a different topic here. We're going to do the slide-in version. So remember, when you raise your arm, you almost turn your body into a bow. So you turn your body into a bow, and then you come forward, and everything out of lines. Forward, right? So you get a lot of power out of it. You just try some while I talk about a couple points here. You don't want your arm bending just at the elbow. Right? You want your arm right up by your ear, fully extended. Slice your partner in half. Try both sides. So you can have that feeling that your body is a bow, and it all, twangs at the strike. Another point here is when you do this, you don't leave the back foot back. Now I can't move. That's really important for ukemi. So your back foot comes up with the strike. Complete the strike, the back foot comes, now you're ready to move it. Bring your back foot up with it. Yeah, good. One thing that can really tell you if you're doing that, bringing that back foot up, is Shomanuchi Iriminagi Kemi, especially the turning Iriminagi. If I have a wide stance, my partner starts to cut me down here. I can't really even move, right? So my feet are together. Now I can transfer my weight to this foot. I need to go down when my partner cuts me down. Strike, my feet are pretty close together. Start taking my balance, I can step into it, come around. So let's try a little bit of that ukemi. Feet together, shoulder leaving. Now grab your item or whatever it is, and if you don't have it, just pick a spot on the floor, because all we're going to do is lay it on the ground here. And we're going to do what the sensei from this Sunday did. She had very remarkable movement, and she's a great ukemi. So she talked about this ukemi that we're doing right now. Strike, and now you're going to step around your item. Come down, come back up. It's just sort of like a guideline. You're going to step around it. You get cut down. Don't kick it. Try to smooth it out a little. Touch the ground. That's what we would do. Uh-oh, I kicked my item. Fail. Good thing it wasn't a bottle of booze. So I like that, and that movement is a little hard to make yourself do. because this, if you're truly getting your balance taken, it's going to peel that foot right off the ground. But I think it's good to practice. And she also showed it with, I think it was her son. So when you're back in the dojo, you can actually have a person there, even if they're not cutting you down, and you step around them and come around up your kemi. Let's leave that down there, and we'll do our Yokomanuchi strike. So this last time Shomanuchi, and my back is to my item here, and I move around it. This time Yokomanuchi, my front is to my item, and I move around it when Uke cuts me down for Shihonage. So we've been doing this one a lot of different ways. So have a good Yokomanuchi strike. Let Uke pull you around, and then you can just walk around that item. If you recall, we've been trying this with the Yokomanuchi, keeping that back shoulder back as the foot comes up. And now again, I unwind. Bam. Everything unwinds. So back, shoulders back, then strike. Shoulders back, then strike. Thank you. So try that a couple times. Add the ukemi, get around your item. Now let's pick up the item. So this is we're doing a Yokomanuchi medley here. So that was the wrap around it. Now we're going to put it in our offhand. That's going to become your nage. We've done this a few times before in this class. So I'm going to do my Yokomanuchi, place my item here. Now I'm trying to make myself move with this. And I'm trying to keep this sandwiched, connected. Left hand is not, or in my case, I'm striking right hand. So right hand is uke, left hand is nage. Turn it into shihonage if you want. Try both sides, strike, connect, move yourself. It's a great exercise if you can feel this connection all the way through your back foot. That's what we're aiming for. You would pull in your back foot off the mat, turning. Of all the ones I've tried, I think this yoke move is the most feeling, or like ukemi feeling of solo practice. Let's do a few more. All right, now for the act 3 of the medley. Let's change it back to your nage hand. Now you're just nage. So I'm going to, we did this one several weeks ago. I'm going to step in, strike, and let the weight of that pull me down. I'm gonna try to maintain my balance here, all right? So now I'm not spinning around. My body's in a line, my shoulders are in a line. The weight of that is pulling my back foot up. It's a balance exercise. Both sides. Just place that on the ground. And lift it back up. As it comes back up, your back foot comes back up. Place that on the ground. The back foot comes back up. It's good for your thighs, good for your balance. If you find you're a little off balance, you may want to check this shoulder, because if your shoulders start to square, you're gonna end up going this direction. So keep your shoulders in a line, your back hand and your back foot behind you. They're like in a line, in a line.
Come on.
Left side is harder for me. One more level of difficulty. Place the weapon down. Come back up. Touch your foot. and then reach back down and grab it. That's too easy. Place the weapon down. Come back up. Don't touch your back foot. Then go back down and grab it. You can always improve balance. Like on one side, I need that little toe touch. On the other side, maybe not so much. The two things that really help in this, I think, is give yourself a good strike and really pull yourself off balance. Let yourself get off balance, as opposed to this where I'm just bending down here. And, let myself go, get off balance from the strike. Whoa, almost lost it. That was a good one. Let me check my time here. I think I'm running. Yeah. All right, so why don't I stop a little bit earlier because I keep running almost to the end. So let's put our weapon down. So quick review, it did a pivot footwork. We did the clock from that too. We looked at those 3 Hamni again, which I think is going to be good for studying on your own when you're thinking about techniques. What's the best one to start in? And then we did Shomanuchi with some exercises and a Yokonuchi medley. I'm sweating a little bit, so that's good on a day like this. Let's cool down a little bit, and then we'll chat for a couple minutes. Let's jump. Circles. Down. In. Left, right. Get your legs. Let's finish with a little breathing. So I'm gonna put my feet out, maybe a little farther. Go down, exhale everything. Inhale. Hold. Everything's in your center. Exhale. Now open. And again. Exhale, tight. Okay, let's bow. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.